Well, surely every true statement has a proof. But Gödel showed that actually there's a gap between truth and proof.
Gödel, one of the most brilliant mathematicians of the 20th century, forever changed our understanding of logic and mathematics. His groundbreaking discovery, the Incompleteness Theorem, revealed something astonishing. No mathematical system can ever be truly complete or fully self-sufficient. This shook the foundations of math, proving that certain truths will always lie beyond our reach. Yet despite this monumental achievement, Gödel himself was plagued by self-doubt and paranoia. In this video, we'll explore the life and legacy of Gödel, the man who discovered math's greatest mystery, and why he never believed it was enough. Born on April 28, 1906 in Brunn, now known as Brno in the Czech Republic, Gödel's upbringing was one of privilege. His father ran a successful textile business, providing young Kurt with a stable and comfortable life. Even as a child, Gödel was known for his insatiable curiosity. His family nicknamed him Mr. Y because he constantly asked questions about everything. This constant questioning would later define his approach to mathematics and logic, driving him to seek deeper truths. Gödel excelled in school, although ironically he didn't start out as a standout in math. He earned high marks in all subjects, but his grade in math was merely good rather than excellent. Nevertheless, his fascination with the logical structure of the world grew, and his early love of physics shifted toward mathematics once he entered the University of Vienna. It was there, surrounded by like-minded intellectuals, that Gödel's true potential began to unfold. Initially, Gödel enrolled to study physics, but fate had other plans for him. He encountered Philipp Furtwängler, a renowned mathematics professor who lectured from a wheelchair due to a severe disability. Despite Furtwängler's physical limitations, his intellectual charisma was enough to inspire Gödel to switch his focus to pure mathematics. Gödel quickly found himself at home in the world of abstract reasoning and logic, where he thrived on solving complex problems and challenging established norms. At the University of Vienna, Gödel became a part of the Vienna Circle, a group of philosophers and mathematicians dedicated to logical positivism. This group believed that only empirical verification or logical proof could establish truth. However, Gödel wasn't content with these rigid ideas. His desire to question and push beyond the conventional thinking of his peers would lead him to his greatest discovery, one that would shake the very foundation of mathematics and turn the world of logic upside down. In 1930, at just 24 years old, Gödel made an announcement that would change the course of mathematical history. He revealed his Incompleteness Theorem, a discovery so profound that it shook the foundations of mathematics and logic. To understand this groundbreaking theorem, let's start with a simple analogy, the liar paradox. Imagine someone saying this statement is false. If the statement is true, then it must be false because that's what it claims. But if it's false, then it must be true. This paradox illustrates a self-referential loop that creates a contradiction. Similarly, Gödel's Incompleteness Theorem showed that within any formal mathematical system, there will always be true statements that cannot be proven using the system's rules. In essence, there are limits to what can be proven in mathematics. Even with the most advanced logical tools, some truths remain beyond reach. Gödel's theorem was a revelation. Until then, mathematicians had believed that any mathematical problem could eventually be solved with the right tools and logical steps. But Gödel proved that this was not the case. There would always be questions that could be asked within a system of mathematics that the system itself could never answer. His theorem applies to any formal system capable of expressing basic arithmetic, essentially every logical system mathematicians had developed at that time. The response to Gödel's discovery was immediate and intense. Mathematicians across the world realized that Gödel had revealed a fundamental limitation of mathematics itself. John von Neumann, one of the most brilliant minds of the 20th century, immediately recognized the significance of Gödel's theorem. He later described it as a landmark that will remain visible far in space and time. Gödel's proof was considered a masterpiece of mathematical ingenuity. It wasn't just the result that was awe-inspiring, but the way he arrived at it. Author Stephen Budiansky, who wrote a biography of Gödel, described the proof as having the same beauty and complexity as a musical fugue by Bach, where different elements come together in perfect harmony. Yet not everyone welcomed Gödel's discovery. His theorem directly contradicted the beliefs of David Hilbert, a leading mathematician of the time. who had famously declared, "In mathematics, there is nothing unknowable." Gödel had shown that some things would always remain unknowable, even in the most precise of fields, mathematics. Despite his monumental achievement, Gödel's personal life was fraught with challenges. He struggled with mental health issues for most of his life, including severe depression and paranoia. The political turmoil in Austria following the collapse of the Austro-Hungarian Empire and the rise of Nazism only worsened his mental state. Gödel's depression became so severe that he often feared he would become violent. His mother, concerned for her safety, would lock her bedroom door at night. His girlfriend Adele, who later became his wife, became his lifeline during these dark times. She would even take the first bite of his food to convince him it wasn't poisoned, a testament to how deep his paranoia ran. One of the most devastating blows to Gödel's mental health came in 1936, when his mentor, Moritz Schlick, was murdered by a deranged student. The rise of Nazism in Austria made Gödel's situation even more precarious. While many of his colleagues fled to America, Gödel hesitated, still hoping to secure a permanent position at the University of Vienna. However, the political environment was becoming increasingly dangerous, and Gödel eventually realized he had to leave. In 1940, Gödel and his wife Adele fled to America, where he was offered a position at the Institute for Advanced Study in Princeton, New Jersey. The institute was a haven for brilliant minds like Albert Einstein, John von Neumann, and Gödel himself. Here, scholars were free to pursue their research without the burden of teaching. Gödel's relationship with Albert Einstein became legendary. Einstein admired Gödel's intellect deeply, and the two would often walk home together from the institute. Einstein once remarked that "I go to the office just to walk home with Gödel." However, despite the intellectual freedom and security that Princeton offered, Gödel's mental health continued to deteriorate. He believed that his later work, including his proof of the generalized consistency of the continuum hypothesis, fell short of his earlier achievements. His feelings of inadequacy persisted throughout his life. In his later years, Gödel's paranoia took over. He refused necessary medical treatments, believing that doctors were trying to harm him. When his wife Adele was hospitalized for several months, Gödel, left to his own devices, slowly starved himself to death, convinced that his food was being poisoned. He passed away on January 14, 1978, weighing just 65 pounds. Despite his tragic end, Gödel's legacy lives on. His Incompleteness Theorem remains one of the most profound discoveries in the history of mathematics. It not only transformed how we understand mathematical systems, but also revealed a deep truth about the limits of knowledge itself. Gödel showed us that even in the world of pure logic, there are mysteries that will forever remain beyond our grasp. Kurt Gödel's life was a paradox in itself, a man who uncovered math's greatest mystery, yet could never shake his own feelings of inadequacy. His Incompleteness Theorem changed the way we see mathematics, revealing that no system, no matter how advanced, can ever be truly complete. While Gödel may have felt like a failure, his work has left an indelible mark on both mathematics and philosophy, reminding us that even the most brilliant minds are not immune to the complexities of the human condition. If you're fascinated by the genius of Kurt Gödel and want to explore more groundbreaking discoveries like his, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like and share to help spread the story of math's greatest mystery.